Hello and welcome back to my sinister dreams. You know, about 80% of the people who watch me still ain't subscribed or liked the videos. And look, doing that helps me grow so I can keep doing the one thing I love, telling the truth about the things that haunt me. So, let's begin. I am a wanderer. I don't know how long I've been cursed with this thing living under my skin. I don't stay in one place long, not because I want to run, but because I'm afraid I might hurt somebody. And I ain't telling this for sympathy. I'm telling it because secrets rot you from the inside out. And mine has teeth. Folks think monsters howl at the moon, but mine whispers to me. Tells me when to run, tells me when the change is coming. I werewolf. And this is the part of my story I never meant to say out loud. I ain't telling this for sympathy. I'm telling it because the truth's been pacing inside me like a caged animal. See, I weren't bitten. I weren't scratched. My curse didn't come from teeth. It came from blood. My family, we don't talk about our past. Too many shadows in it. Too many names whispered instead of spoken. But that night, the night everything in me cracked, something old woke up. Something that had been sleeping in my bones since before I was born. I remembered the moment it happened. Not the pain, not the fear, but the sound. A low growl rising up from somewhere deep inside me, a place I didn't even know existed. Like an ancestor clearing their throat after 100 years of silence. My heart didn't beat, it pounded. My vision didn't blur, it shifted. And in that moment, I knew the stories weren't stories. My people carried a curse and trauma. Trauma was the key that unlocked it. I remember the moment the curse woke up. Not the pain, not the fear, but the memory that wasn't mine. It hit me like a storm fast, loud, and blinding. 1 second I was standing there, shaking. The next, I was somewhere else entirely. A forest, old, older than anything I ever seen in this life. The trees were twisted like they were praying, and the moon hung low, swollen, watching. And in the middle of that clearing, I saw them, my blood, my people. Not the faces I know from family reunions or old photos. These were ancestors from so far back, their names been swallowed by time. They stood in a circle, chanting in a language my mouth ain't never spoken. But somehow my bones understood every word. And then I saw him, the first, the one who made the pact. His eyes glowed like embers. And when he looked at me, really looked at me, I felt the wolf inside me stretch like it had been asleep for centuries. He raised his hand, and the whole forest went silent. And in a voice that sounded like wind through broken branches, he said, "The blood remembers. And now, so do you." That's when I snapped back, gasping, shaking, and for the first time in my life, I wasn't alone in my own skin.
When that vision snapped away, I thought it was over. I thought maybe I just passed out, or lost my mind for a second. But then the change hit me. My hands. They started trembling, but not from fear. The bones shifted under my skin, like they were remembering a shape they used to be. My nails darkened. My teeth ached, like they were pushing forward. My heartbeat doubled, then doubled again, till it felt like something else was beating inside me. And my eyes. Lord, my eyes. The world sharpened. Colors got brighter. I could see every crack in the wall, every grain of dust floating in the air. I could smell things I shouldn't be able to smell. Fear, anger, lies. Even my own blood humming like a drum. That's when I knew I weren't just cursed. I were dangerous. Not because I wanted to hurt anybody, but because I didn't know if I could stop myself if the wolf ever took over. So I packed what little I had, didn't say goodbye to nobody. Didn't leave a note. I just walked. And I've been walking ever since. Town to town, state to state. Never staying long enough for folks to ask questions. Never sleeping in the same place twice. But no matter how far I go, the shadow follows me. The wolf. I see it sometimes. Standing at the edge of the road, watching me, with those ember bright eyes from my vision. It don't speak. It don't move. It just waits, like it knows one day I'm gonna stop running.
I thought I could rest for one night. Just one. Little town off the highway, quiet as a prayer. I paid cash for a room above a diner, kept my head down, kept my hood up. I told myself, just sleep. Don't stay long, don't get noticed. But trouble got a way of finding me, even when I'm trying my hardest to disappear. It started with screams. Not the kind folks make when they're scared of shadows. These were real, sharp, desperate. I ran outside, and the whole town was in chaos. People running, doors slamming, lights flicking on one by one, and then I smelled it. Not blood, not fear. Wolves, not like me. These were wild, wrong, moving in a pack with a purpose I didn't understand. I froze, because I knew if I stepped in, the wolf inside me might step out. I was turning away, ready to disappear into the night like I always do, when a little boy grabbed my sleeve, tears all over his face, shaking so hard he could barely talk. "Mister, please." They took my sister. And just like that, the wolf inside me lifted its head. Not angry, not hungry, listening. The boy looked at me like I was the only hope he had left in the world. And I hated that, because I knew what I was. I knew what I could become. "Please," he whispered again. "You gotta help her." And in that moment, I realized something I'd been running from for years. Maybe the curse didn't wake up to destroy me. Maybe it woke up to make sure I never turned my back on someone who needed saving. The moon hangs heavy in the sky tonight, a silent observer to the change overtaking me. It starts as a tremor deep in my bones, a primal hum that vibrates through my veins. My reflection shivers, not from cold, but from the darkness coalescing behind me, a shadow in the shape of a wolf, its eyes burning like twin embers in the gloom. It doesn't speak, not with a voice, but its intent is a cold whisper in my mind. Surrender. My skin stretches, my spine cracks and realigns. Pain is a fire, searing away the man I was. The shadow leans closer, a promise of power, of instincts honed to a razor's edge. It shows me a world painted in shades of fear and hunger, a world where I am the apex predator. My hands twist into claws, my teeth lengthen into fangs. The howl building in my chest isn't just mine anymore. It's a duet with the darkness that now guides me. The city lights blur into a hunting ground. This transformation isn't a curse, it's an awakening. And as my new form solidifies under the pale moonlight, I can feel the shadow's satisfaction. The hunt is about to begin. If you're fascinated by the darker side of transformation, hit that subscribe button and join us in the shadows.